Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. I'm excited to have you here, and I'm going to go through and talk a little bit about some of the new plants that I've put in the ground since the last time we talked, and a little bit about what's going on in my vegetable garden, and hope you enjoy it. So I'm starting right here in front of our garden shed. One of the cool new plants that I got is this coral berry shrub, and it gets about 2 to 4 feet tall, and it has very small flowers that the pollinators just love. It goes very well with the echinacea, and as you can see, it puts on these beautiful berries that are pink. They start out green and they turn pink. You can see the little white flowers there. Just gorgeous. So those will hang on the foliage through the fall, and then I hear that the birds eat them, so they probably will not last the winter, but really pretty. You can see, remember the clearance or sale phlox that I planted are over here. Those are the opening act pinkadot. And this is the bloom that they have after cutting them back the first time, you guys. So really great second flush of blooms. And you can see I have mirrored similar plantings over here as well, with those flax right over here and the coral berry shrub right there. So the coral berry shrub needs to be cut back every year. So in the springtime I will cut it back to about maybe 12 inches. And this flax also that I bought on sale and had to cut back, I believe it's called Opening Act Pink Blush. That one is starting to flush out its second set of blooms as well. So we'll see if it is as prolific of a second bloomer as the pinkadot one. Now over here, I don't know if you've seen my video on rehabbing sale plants, but this is one of them. This is a strawberry sundae hydrangea. And really, for a clearance plant, you guys probably wouldn't suspect that's what it was. It looks great in the garden. I have, I think, 4 others of those, so I'll show you where those are planted as well. You never know, it might even bloom this year for me. We'll see. Then over here, I have an Autumn Joy 9-bark. This one will get quite tall, I believe 8 feet tall, maybe 5 or 6 feet wide. But I think it will do nicely to fill in front of these arborvitae, and it has some really nice color on the new growth as it comes out. Very autumnal, which is probably why they called it Autumn Joy. So over here, I have another one of the strawberry sundae hydrangeas that I rehabbed. And you can see on this one, actually this one had a little bit more problems than the others, so I cut it back, and you can see the new growth coming out already right here. So it's very happy in its location. Oops, sorry about that. Trying to get out of the garden bed gracefully. Didn't work very well. Now over here, I have a hydrangea that I talked about in one of my videos. This was also a rehab, and it's getting ready to put out lots of blooms. You guys, when I bought this, it looked like this other one that I got, which is the same. So I'm going to show you this other one. Doesn't look like much now. That's it. Okay, I got this for $8. And so eventually that one will look just like this. This one that's blooming probably looked like that about a month ago. So amazing new growth. And I just love the blue color. This is the Seaside Serenade Bar Harbor hydrangea, surrounded by Pulmonaria. And I really like this combination. I just think it's so pretty. Just look at those blooms. I'm so excited. This is an arborescens version. So it is native to North America. So I think that's part of why it likes this spot so well. And then another new combination that I have over here is this Petite Plum 9-bark. So it's got some very kind of maroony color to it, and these ferns behind it, the Japanese ferns, were actually looking a lot better before this. It was gorgeous. They were like probably 3 feet tall, but something came in. Don't ask me what. I don't think rabbits eat it. Maybe groundhog do, and just ate it down all of the big stand in the back. So kind of lost that upright action against the fence back there, which is too bad. But it still looks really gorgeous. I just like the different combination of colors within the leaves. All right, so now we'll just walk over this way, and we have a ways to go to the vegetable garden, which is over here. And we'll talk first a little bit about the squash. I've already harvested 3 butternut squash. I think I'm going to leave the rest on the vine a little bit longer. So you can see there's another one coming down here. It's quite large. And then I have a number of very large beefsteak tomatoes. I mean, you can't really tell until, let me see if I can get my hand in there to show you how big this is. This is like a 2-handful tomato, just ginormous. So I have a number of those that are coming ripe right now. Over there you can see some of them also through the foliage. And I just planted in the ground down here some kale. So I just seeded directly. And I'm going to show you next some of the seeds that I germinated in a cell pack. The red Russian kale and the dwarf blue curly leaf kale. All right, let's come on up here on the deck and take a look. So I just potted up from the cell pack some of the different varieties here. This with the frilly leaves is actually the red Russian, and you can kind of see it on the stems, the red. And then also in the middle here is the blue curly leaf kale. So you can see it's a little bit of a tinge of blue in the leaves. And I started them in this cell pack over here, and thought it was time to start trying to get some out. I'm going to leave some in because I've never grown kale before. I've grown lettuce. I don't know how long I should leave it in the cell pack versus planting it out. So I'm trying some in the ground, some in the cell pack, some, well, not so mature seedlings in these pots. And then I will show you also some not so mature seedlings, which are out here in the yard. Does anybody ever put their hose away? Because I don't. Oh, my husband loves it too. He hates it. So I just put these down here. So we have the blue curly leaf up front here, and then some of the red Russian in the back. And as you can see, I put this plastic type cover over it because I'm afraid that after I planted it that either a rabbit will come eat it, a chipmunk will dig it up, or a squirrel will try to bury some hickory nuts where they are. So hopefully that will help, and we'll give an update to see which ones grow the best. But I can give you a little update too here. Those columbines that I transplanted over here seem to be pretty happy. They're putting on new growth despite it being the end of August. I did plant some foxgloves down here at the end, and boy, they're starting to get nice and big. They look quite healthy. And then I also planted them in this garden bed over here. So there's some right there, and then a little further along right there. And they're looking like they're doing well, so I'm happy about that. I did plant a little bit also right in here to help fill in that area. Okay, so here's another planting of those opening act Pinkadot phlox, also with the pink blush ones in front here, which are starting to bloom over here as well. Pretty happy with the way that this looks. It used to be just a row of hostas that were kind of getting sunburned over time and not really happy in the area. So it's just more interesting to look at this, and I'm enjoying the idea of putting some of the kale in with the blooming flowers. I put a baby Cirrus canadensis redbud right here in the hopes that that will grow up and provide a little bit of shade over here by the house because it's very, very hot. And then the hydrangea that I had that I cut back the most, this is again a strawberry sundae one that I got on sale. So just another update on a rehab plant. You can see almost every single one of those stems that I had to cut back, that I told you was going to be okay, has got new growth on it and is producing leaf buds. So I expect by the end of this week to see lots of leaves on this hydrangea. It's super exciting. So I think that will fill in that spot very nicely. They don't get too big, about 4 feet tall and wide, so that should be really pretty. Here's how my topiary is looking right now. My arborvitae, spur of the moment one. It's not too bad. I kind of like it. So again, we'll watch to see how it fills out over time. And then I do have one other update to give you over here, which is my mock orange. This one also is very happy in its new spot. You can see it's putting on new growth at the tips and on other branches. So glad to see that. And the cat's meow nepeta is also looking really good. You can see new growth also on the ends of these, and I do think it's possible that it might bloom again for me this season. One of those is on both sides. I'm not sure if I like it in this spot particularly, but we'll see as things kind of grow on because they're still small, and they may look better as they grow out. And then again with the Cleopatra coneflower is looking pretty good, and that was also a rehab plant, so happy to see all of the blooms that it's putting out, and it's got a lot of buds on it as well that are going to keep on coming, so that's great. And then we'll go over here. You see another strawberry sundae hydrangea there, which is also very happy where it is. And then I'll show you a couple more sale plants that I got down here that are also doing fairly well. These are the Violet Riot, they're Color Spire's Violet Riot. They are a sage salvia plant from Proven Winners. And I think they look pretty good. They have really put on a lot of growth over the last week. It's been really hot here. Behind it, this is an aster. I also bought it on sale, but honestly, it looked better than this when I clipped it back. But it got an extra clipping by the rabbits or a groundhog or something that got into my yard. So Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I'll get some blooms out of it this year as opposed to it just being chomped on by animals. Then two limoncello barberries. You can see they're both putting on some new growth up at the top. And it's that new growth that has that lemony lime color with a little bit of rose red around it. And then a double file viburnum behind it. I'm not sure if this one's going to do well over here because this is, it gets all of the late afternoon sun and gets a little tired in that. We'll see though. It's going to cool down here in a little bit. Probably in about a week it'll be under 80 every day. This is the Spirea Pink Sparkle, I think it's called. It might be called Pink Joy. Any rate, it's a very small mounding shrub with small pink flowers on it, and it's looking really good in terms of the amount of new growth that it has on it. Again, this was a sale plant. Looked real scraggly when I first bought it with barely any new growth on it, but it's really filled in. And then one last one. I was super excited to try this, you guys. It's a climbing rose. It's Eden, and it has pink flowers on it that are like, I think they're called a double flower, where they're super, just tons of petals on them and cupped. And then it has fragrance as well. And so I've used some twine. I've never grown a climbing rose before, but I've used some twine. So I'm going to try to kind of espalier it along the fence at the top here and along the mid so that it kind of covers the fence and blooms around it. And I think that will be real nice and kind of fill in that area. Don't you? Alright, well that's my tour for today and my updates. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.